Dang it. Day 1 Clix Cup. This is pretty awesome. Super cool. Out here, you can see that landscape. It's really, really nice. I need to get some sleep. And yeah, this is day 1. I'm gonna probably have, tonight is casual night. So I'm gonna probably take some shots from casual night and go from there. All right, let's do this Clix Cup. It's day 1. We are at casual night. This is the Phoenix Nest table. Yeah, that's what's up. I got a good mess this time.
Howdy, howdy. Let's get rowdy.
There we go.
Yeah.
So there's a good amount of people here for casual night. So Brandon, hold up real quick. You're volunteering, Brandon.
What am I volunteering for?
For the cup.
Always volunteering for the cup.
All right. Is anything interesting you've seen so far?
I like how people have given me their credit cards as IDs.
Credit cards or IDs? Oh, okay. People are real into real life ID cards. Did they pay $5 to summon in their spouse? Did they pay $5 to summon in their spouse? No. Okay. So credit cards don't work like ID cards. There we go. All right. Hopefully I can get some cool footage here of stuff going on. Maybe interesting stuff. So, all right then. That's it for right now. All right, everybody. This is round 3 of the Thursday. I need to get my days straight. Event Wakanda. I'm 1-1. We've been doing pretty good. There's a lot of cool things here. One of the key things I want to note is there's a lot of Sentinel play. Some Tri-Sentinels, Bastion. There's a lot of like good stuff. We got multiple Phoenixes over here. I think one of the key notes is like, what are you doing with your Colossals? Like giant Colossal play is more and more important in this format. So I wonder how that means for the future going forward with the Colossal chain pools. Our Colossal is like big men on campus now, which I think they probably are. So that's it. Hit y'all later. Okay, so it's day 2, Friday, if I remember my time correctly. We are just ended round 2. I am 1-1. I'm playing Justice League. I'll talk about this build a little bit later. I think it is quite unique for the field. A couple of cool things to note. Seeing Dark Phoenix pop off, Scientists, Latveria, a couple of Galactuses. The meta is a lot more aggressive. I'm in your face, I'm retaling. If you can't retal, there are some problems that can arise. So yeah, like there's a lot going on. A lot of cool 3D printer stuff. So I think that's a maggot right there. Or not. No, it is a maggot. It's a maggot. Let me zoom in. See that? That's pretty cool. A lot of cool 3D objects. There's Tyler Speeds. Not pretending to be Tyler Speeds. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. The event's been run very promptly. So yeah, looking to see what's next. I'm probably going to report back in a little bit later after prelims, unless I encounter something awesome. Let's go. Okay, it's a 5th round. A couple of cool things. We had about, I think, like 60, 70 players, because I see people were all the way back to like 35 or whatever. So we had a good attendance. I think this was, in my opinion, something equivalent to Rock Championship. Also, maybe a side event that people cared about at Nationals. I think overall, I think this is a good turnout. I like what is being done considering the current environment, that this was a serious tournament. Lots of Phoenix Nest playing Phoenix Nest. I hate saying, I love and I hate saying that as well, but it's funny to me. and also sad a little bit. It's like, oh, we knocked each other out, but we have fun, doing it. Battle royales are quite healthy. There's some people that drop. They're having fun. They're playing battle royales. There's a good attendance with that. There's a good amount of space. So a couple of quick things. I know I'm looking more Phoenix Nest, playing Phoenix Nest. That's Joe playing Kevin. Shout outs to both of them. These guys have hustled. Kevin's been working on his team all year. Joe's been innovating his style of play. So shout outs to both of them. There's the nicest guy in heroclix right there, Mr. Mike Eskew. There's the judge, who is the most Punisher judge in heroclix. He's pretty cool. But anyway, couple of key things right now that I will say about this event so far. We're on day 2. Number 1, I feel everything has been fun. I think that's the most important thing for folks to remember is to have fun. The fact that there isn't a championship title where there's something where this is the only place where you can get this thing, and so that you can impact the game, it lowers the intensity just the right amount. I feel in our cases, like winning product that is not unique, and this is the only way that you're going to get it, creates a lot more healthier environment. Newmark is also doing something that I think is very positive for the game, which is circle who you played, which was who you believe you should get fellowship. And I think that also reinforces, like, hey guys, let's be cool. Like, be serious, but let's be cool about this. You still want to have a good impact on people. And like the tables, the seatings, the everything so far is really nice. If my only mild complaint is like, yeah, I would love to have a break to top 32. Of course, that would benefit me. I went 3-2, 855 points. I don't think I'm going to break, just considering how low on the tables I was at the end. But I'll say this much: I don't feel bad. I went 2-1 with my Wakanda yesterday and had a good time. And I think that's the key thing is are you having a good time? And so there is some of those, for people that did ROC back when we were in Atlanta, this feels like that. And I think that's something that we need right now to get Clix sort of back going, which is like I can go upstairs and pass out. I can come back and play Clix. Oh, I left something in my hotel room. I can go get it. Did you need something? I can go get it from my hotel room. I did that for one of my teammates last night. So there's so much cool stuff of just having a convention feel. We're all in the same hotel. We all just sort of, stumble downstairs, and it's good to go. And so I got to give a shout out to Newmark on that. They've had 3 great judges so far that have been pretty attentive to handle everything. So yeah, that's it for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and come on back a little bit later, and we're gonna probably see what happens here. Hopefully I can, if I break, then yeah, I'm gonna be happy, but if not, I'm not gonna be mad either. Other than I'm not gonna get into that. So, all right then, that's it. Hello, everybody. I got a good interview while the final round is going. Introduce yourself. I sort of semi-introduced you when I caught you in the camera shot, but if people had the not so fortunate chance to ID you, can you identify yourself?
Sure. Mike Eskew. I'm out of Dallas, Texas, part of the Uncanny Clixmen.
The nicest guy in heroclix is what I would say.
I think that belongs to Will Gordon, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's super fun. I'm glad we're here playing Clix again. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were both here talking about casual night real briefly, and we were just saying like it was casual night and it wasn't so casual.
No. But it was fun.
It was fun.
One thing I will say with the 500, if it's okay, is I haven't gotten to play a game above 300 since the pandemic, and it was super fun to do. Well, I think I did one game during a Roll20 event, but otherwise all 300, and it was really fun to get to see that many pieces on the board and big guys and a lot of colossals. It was a lot of fun. That part was fun.
All right, so let's talk about the event so far because we're on day 2. All right, so what's your feeling on the event so far?
First off, I'm going to just say this. What I wanted out of this event before I ever even got here was I wanted the feel of Rock Cup and Atlanta.
Thank you. I said that previously.
I think that's what they were going for. I really do believe so. I know we're gearing up for the banquet tonight, and I'm really hoping that still continues that feel because right now, the reason why I love competitive Clix, I mean, I like playing locally, and I like playing in rocks, even locally and regionally. But really returned the love of Clix and the competitive Clix for me was going to Rock Cup. And then really getting to meet all these, mostly jokers, and a lot of great people.
Yeah.
And then the great competition, and it pushed me to get better and trying to get better, and all of the whole team, and then that's the part that I love about it. So. The venue is amazing.
Yes.
It's a huge place. The only thing I would say is bad, and it's not a bad thing, it's so good and so big, it is popular. So there's a lot of people here doing stuff, but that's not a bad thing. It's the same reason why we're here, because you're essentially located, lots of things to do. We went and rode go-karts the other day.
You went go-karting?
It was awesome. We went to this place called Deezer's World, something like, it was like, had all these old cars. We went axe throwing. We had a freaking blast, man. And I wasn't expecting to do any of that, and it's all because it was here. We're just looking for stuff to do. It was relatively close, and we had a blast doing that. Plus playing Clix, all that stuff. Oh, one other good bad thing is, great rooms. They're huge. They're good. All that, but it is so big. There's 2 towers. I guess there's only 2 towers, and half our.
Hold on, wait. YouTube, not referencing that. Not Twin Towers. There's 2. No, not that. There are 2 distinct buildings that house people. Rooms. There we go. But yeah, go ahead.
So one of our group, half our group is in Tower 1, and the other half is in Tower 2, and it's a kind of a pain in the rear to come down.
Go over, go back up.
But these are very minor complaints.
Yeah.
Because this place is amazing. The cost is pretty reasonable. Complimentary parking. Not trying to make this a whole advertisement of this, but it's been nothing but positive things here.
Yeah.
Very positive.
And so this is the thing that I like is like your rooms are nice. They have a freaking TV in the mirror.
That is pretty cool.
I was like, what is this? I was like, it's a TV in the mirror. So you're watching TV while you're getting yourself together. I was like, wow. And it has a little sensor for the light when you walk into the bathroom at night, but then it turns off real quick.
Even like underneath your dresser and stuff, it'll light up.
Oh, there is?
Last night, Micah, he's in our room. He's one of our Clixmen. He was asleep. Poor little guy. Had to take a nap, so he was sleeping. We came in at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is probably not the good thing to do right before water. Probably why I also went, But we did, and then all the lights came underneath. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, nice room, real nice room.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about 300 Point Modern. And I think this is a key thing, because you and I have been in the game for a long time. So we can assess the situation. What's your view on 300 Point Modern?
So it's all alpha, which, and that's fine. Alpha's always been a big part of the game. There are some things that I think need to be tweaked a little bit, but I like that. Okay, all the games I played against were all things I was expecting, but they were all different. I played against 3 different teams today. I went 1 and 2, so I didn't do so great, and I dropped. But played against 3 different teams. And I'm seeing a lot of, there's pockets of, yes, there's the Giganta Justice League. Yes, there's the Secret Six. Yes, there's, good stuff. We all know what good stuff is.
Yeah, good stuff. Right? Just play good stuff wins.
And then we've got, I know the Clixmen are playing, and then also Eric Mulheron from Juggernaut, they're playing a lot of Jason Wingard. Jason dropping off rookies and going to town.
Yeah.
That is deadly, and it does a lot. It does a lot.
Yeah.
So, there's been some interesting things. Nothing really that I didn't expect. I will say, your boy Kevin, I think it's Kevin. His double null team is kicking some rear, man.
Yeah.
I know he did well at Tulsa. He's been doing well. That's the team, and he's the only one I think playing.
Yeah, he's the only one playing. He's been playing this for a month.
He's 4-0, and I think he's 4-0, right?
Yeah, he's playing Joe.
Oh, looks like he may be done. Oh no, they're on the live stream. Sorry, we're kind of doing this from over here as well.
Yeah.
But just saying, double null is a thing. Be looking out for it. Double null.
Double null. Okay, so this is the thing that I've noticed. So we talk about where the game is shifted, and one of the key things is I think everyone said Tri-Sentinel is gone. The best Colossal Retaliator is Dark Phoenix, and I could put Dark Phoenix on what? And that was like, I've seen so many Firebirds, you would think it was a Phoenix Nest recruiting event. Okay. Yeah, yes, I did throw that in. There's my show. I can do that. Anyway.
You forgive.
But yeah, so.
Or your excuses.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like Dark Phoenix becoming super dominant, I think Jason also becomes an issue. It's not just because of Rookie, but you still have Isaac. And you still have a couple of other niche things like, Captain Marvel that's there. Now, Captain Marvel is going to be there. I think also the multiple mind control ruling made Jason like just amp up other than...
He went back up.
Yeah, he went way back up. Because I know in my second to last game, he got like 8 mind controls off on my Justice League team, and it's just like... It affected things because it took the wind out of my recovery.
Yeah.
It took a huge wind out of my recovery. So that was another negative thing. But the other thing that I just see is just like, how many piddly dudes can I put on a team just to like...
overwhelm you.
Yeah, to overwhelm you. Because the moment you're like, oh, that guy's 100 points. He's a huge liability. And I'm going to kill him, and I'm going to be really far ahead. Like, I don't think it's a conscious thought, but there's a lot of little guys like 30, 50, 60 points. Heck, even with my Justice League team, I don't have a person on my team that is over 50 points. My highest point character is Super Rare Green Lantern.
So do you think that is just... What do we need to do do you want to see more one-man armies? That's the only, is that the answer? Because I'll tell you, when we were all playing 3 to 5-man teams, it felt the same. At least now when there's 5 to 10-man teams, there's a whole lot of difference. It's still good stuff. It's still a lot of good stuff. But it's mix and match of good stuff.
Okay,
right?
so
what's your poison? Right?
That's legit because who was the one? I think it was Macho Man was like, and the cream always is to the top, brother. Like, it does. And you do sort of see that same contingency of figures, no matter what, always show up. Right. There's always your top 5, like, this is the best in HeroClix and whatever.
Like, what do you think is the most, like, obviously Dark Phoenix, we know that. We know Commissioner, heavily.
Commissioner, yeah.
Sky Tyrant, heavily.
Sky Tyrant is the number 1 figure in the meta.
You think number 1 used today? You think it's him or Commissioner? Because those Jason teams aren't using Sky Tyrant, but we know at least 1, 2, like 4 or 5.
If I'm looking, so if I'm assessing top tables right now because I overlooked it, Sky Tyrant. If I was looking at the top 5 tables, there's no Sky Tyrant.
Yeah, because they're all prepared for it.
They're all prepared for it. If you're looking at like your top half tables, there's a good representation of Sky Tyrant.
That's fair.
Now, if you're like looking in the bottom half, is there a bunch of Sky Tyrant? They're sprinkled.
Yeah.
Is Sky Tyrant going to autopilot you to victory? No. And that's the key thing.
He's a tool.
He's a tool.
You got to use it right.
Right. I think when we were at Tulsa, Sky Tyrant was just like...
Well, he's a new hotness.
He was a new hotness, and he was just like... Boop, boop, but he didn't win.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, Caleb won.
No, Caleb won. No, he did win. Caleb won with it.
Yeah.
So, like, when all said and done, like, I think the adaptation for Sky Tyrant came in where it now is sort of calmed down. And I think the swing, which I was expecting to see, I was expecting to see more Exodus, and we didn't.
Well, I really believe if Rise and Fall had been out, you would have seen Excess a lot because of the swap out, the Magneto
Right.
swap out. You would have seen it. I mean, that was my team. It was basically a version of what I played now, but it had that on the team.
Okay, so let's ask you this. Was Rise and Fall not coming out a good thing or a bad thing?
So I will tell you, the only thing bad about it is, here's the bad things is, everybody has had plenty of time to get all of those figures. If you didn't have the figures by now, that's on you. You didn't ask enough people or didn't just reach out. That's on you. Because Rise and Fall coming out would have been a scramble. Everybody paying $100 for Black Hearts or more. Or $150 for Black Hearts probably.
Yeah.
That's crazy for super rare. These are super rares because everybody wants 2 of them, right? At least.
And the prices would have been insane.
It would have been crazy. So in that regard, because it's nice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it felt a little bit stale because everything, like I said earlier, I think this is what I said. Everything I saw, or almost everything I saw on the tables, is kind of what I expected to see.
Yeah.
So not a lot. Now, again, different combinations, different pieces to the puzzle, that's fine. But, Rise and Fall would have added a whole new thing. That's why I think was exciting about Tulsa, exciting about the Huntington's event, was that set had just dropped. We were all excited what's going to happen.
Yeah.
How was it going to shake out? That's always the most fun right before a big event, right? So there would have been quite a bit of excitement for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now there's a little bit of wind out of the sails now because of that, but not a major thing. I'm kind of glad because I'm prepared for this. And I don't think everybody's prepared for Blackheart yet and some of those other pieces.
But yeah, like I think here's the issue. And we have our whole little talk about this, can't talk about that with the tech. I think if you did not enjoy Fantastic Four swap out, Rise and Fall is not going to, you're not going to like what's happening after Rise and Fall.
Right.
Like the future of, I have 4 sets of X-Men to just pull whatever I can out of my butt.
This is the game evolving, right? We have to figure out a way to stay fresh and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
These mechanics are fresh and exciting, right? Whether you're talking Doom swapping, you're talking Fantastic Four swapping, now we got Brotherhood and all of
and
that.
X-Men,
all that stuff, right? Magneto, Professor X. The possibilities now, your team is, it's more than just a smorgasbord. I can really dial my team in. I really can dial it in, and it's on you then. But that becomes the skill level goes up too. It definitely goes
right.
up.
And that was something I was going to think about while you were talking. Is like, if Fantastic Four, you did not like to do the math for your swaps.
Yeah.
And making sure that you're appropriate and you did the right swap. And even then I found out certain rulings on if you replace one figure with a figure of less points, that replaced figure is the points of the bigger
you take
figure.
a 45 for a 25, you're paying 45 when that one dies.
Yeah, like there's subtle things I think a lot of people aren't ready for that.
Yep.
And the complexity of, did you practice knowing all of the matchups, knowing all of what your opponents can do, and all this stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I know a lot of people here this weekend are playing similar teams for all 3 events, for all the major events. Right?
Yeah.
They're just, because one, you don't want to bring all your stuff, or bring too much stuff, because a lot of us are flying, or it's just hard to travel. But it's also because of your own brain, just your own personal memory to be able to really be good at this. When you're playing teams like that and you're really min-maxing it, you don't have to just learn one team. You're learning about half a dozen teams.
Yeah, you're at least learning 4.
Then subtle tweaks amongst that. So really it's those 6 teams, and then maybe another, really it's like 8 or 9 real combinations. And you have to really understand each one of those and when to use them properly, when to pull the lever, right? To activate this one versus that one. And that's a whole different skill set. It's not, because once you've committed to a team, you're done. By having it just opens you up to lots of possibilities.
Yeah, and it's the good thing and the bad thing, because there was something that Patrick Yapoko said a couple of years ago with wanting sideboard on the game, which was sideboard would allow for you not to have hard losses, like just straight up hard losses. And I think WizKids saw what Troublemakers and Trouble Alerts did and said, we can't continue just doing this. And I think also they were like, with the sidekick mechanic, they were like, we just can't keep giving guys, on the sideboard bonuses to the people that are on the map either. And so they're like, look, okay, you got some more swap out.
Yeah.
But here are your limitations. Here are those things you have to think about. This is what's going on. I also think, like, when they were initially designing it, I don't think they were planning for Regenesis to be in play for a majority of this. And I know some people are like, who's nothing good from Regenesis? That's like Beast and Cape Pride.
Cape Pride. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, Beast and Cape Pride right there. You can make a case sort of for the Iceman, and you can make a case sort of for Rachel Summers Phoenix. A lot of other stuff, I can understand how you feel. You'll be like, no. But there's enough stuff that you could just be like, yeah, this is X-Men, this is Brotherhood, with all my additionals. And another thing I think people forgot about with the Professor X is that he hot swaps Illuminati.
Which is a whole nother
layer.
It's not just X-Men and small stuff. You can get some big guys in there. You can get some powerful
guys in there. And so it's just like, oh, this one character was Illuminati.
And I don't want him for 90% of the games, but that
one matchup.
And that one matchup can be all I need,
Right. So here's my question to you, and I think this is an honest question, considering our conversation. Do you think a non-swap team in the future is going to be competitive?
That's interesting. I mean, yes, but there will be a point. If they continue to expand the mechanic, then no. If they only limit it to just these three, I guess these handful, then I would say no. There's still room for non-swap outs. But if they expand it to where almost any keyword, you use this figure, I can swap out these keywords. So that if you have 20 different swap out options, then you're right. That is the next thing, right? And then it's just, again, makes the game infinitely more complex. It does.
Yeah, I think at that point there is a degree where, like, the guy with the hope, with the team and a pair of drop dice and a dream can't show up to a major event and do well.
But what's interesting about that is it allows the game you can still be able to play casual with that, or with or without that.
Without that, yeah.
And you can still, maybe, again, it's an argument to be had if you can play competitively with or without that in the future, right? But at least allows you to have two separate lines. You could say no swap outs for home, for home play. And then that's fine, I guess, because, I know we're all here, and this is why we love this part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the full player base that likes that other side of it more.
Yeah. I don't think
like talking about competitive.
Yeah, I don't think the casual scene is going to go swap out heavy. I think they're going to be like, I want to play my X-Men team, and these are my guys.
I was going with that, but you're right.
No, but because here's the issue that I look at. If we bring in sort of competitive is 10% or less of the population, like, if your favorite figure from the comic is Diamond Patch because you just happen to enjoy his 3-page cameo, then okay, great. His price is insane.
I still think he's legit.
No. He's legit.
Yeah.
He's legit. Diamond Patch is legit. I think anybody that is underestimating what he does has not looked at the point cost for what he does.
Point efficiency is through the roof.
With how many other figures it takes to do exactly what he does. It's a lot, and I think that's the bad part. When I heard like, oh, Diamond Patch sucks, I'm like,
you're not looking hard enough.
Yeah.
People will. They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out the first time they lose their stealth and shape change. Yeah. Anyway, but all right, everybody's starting to wrap up. I like to thank Mr. Professor X himself.
It's funny. So. The Clixmen, we go by. I'm actually my favorite. It's all about who your favorite X-Men is. Mm-hmm. I'm Colossus, actually. So.
Oh, you're Colossus.
Colossus.
All right. So I have Mr. Colossus here.
There you go.
I am wrapping up for this period of time. We're going to see how breaks go. But I hope you enjoy this conversation. We're probably going to get some more conversations about how people think about the format. So once again, thank you very much, and then I'll see y'all in the next part. All right, let's go. It is banquet time. Speeds versus Matty G. Tyler won, so shout out to him. I know I just hit the tape. Felt pretty good. We had
nice try. I'm only like the fourth person who read
from Phoenix there, so I feel good about that. We ended up grinding each other out. It's almost to the end. So shout out to Kevin, Joe. Also, since they got up there. Mr. Lytle, Tommy Lytle, he made top 16, so shout out to him too. We're about to do some banquet stuff, so I'm going to get some good footage for you all. All right, let's go.
Clix Cup, which will be the front and center. You could have the Poke Cup. There might be Digimon. There might be other games, but the Clix, this whole thing will remain unchanged. In terms of what we put into it. We want to control all the tournaments. They can all have the same quality. Additionally, next year we want to make entry free. What? You only pay for the events that you enter.
Yeah!
So, shoes, you can pick and choose. You want to do the whole book, you get a little discount. You can do the whole book. You want to do a couple tournaments, play some battle royales. You can do that as well, but it'll be free and enter. We're still going to have, the same things that make it special. We want to have, continue to do a casual event. I know everybody likes casual build. We want to do still Silver Age and then Modern and Steel. Okay, so that's what we're planning on doing. We're going to have a lot more information coming soon. We are also working on some additional support, if you might say, so we're getting close to that. That's it for announcements. Now, who is hired to see a special prize? Drum roll, please.
Yay.
Well, just so you guys know, I was wrong. I thought he was giving us a ticket of Jeff Bezos' spaceship. I'm a little upset. I figured he was a billionaire going into space soon. I hope he stays in space. Yeah, at least got that. So I want to give a big round of applause to our winner, Tyler. He accomplished two amazing things, everyone. Two amazing things. One, he just went on, and most importantly, he knocked out BJ Bowling.
So, on that note, I do want to congratulate Matty G for winning yesterday and getting second place today. But again, more importantly than all of that, he eliminated Scott Frampton. He eliminated Scott Frampton. He gave him 10 less points than Tyler gave me. He's third place, a trophy and money that he didn't get.
Alright, so as we said, there are 4 lucky tickets for the battle round. 2 are given away. 1 will be given out tonight. And we're going to do it in a way that hasn't been done in quite a long time. I know some of us picked up on some red solo cups here. We are going to bring back 4, just a few people here, can't be everybody, but for just a few volunteers, tonight, right here, we're going to bring bac the Drunken Hero List game. Alright, so it's a battle royale, what's set?
So it will be a battle royale with Nick Fury and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes. And if you feel like you can't remember that set at all, think about how much you'll feel on 10 shots. Alright? This guy's a little too excited, if I'm going to be honest. I think he's already drunk. You're going to be great later on. You're going to be like 2 minutes just passed out on your fingers. Alright. He's going to be drunk before it starts. So we will, to start, we'll try one from each table for volunteers, so it's not all one people, but just raise your hand. First, raise your hand. If you are willing to participate, we have Isaac is going. I want to play. Mr. Law, you're in.
Normally, I would be posting on stuff from teams. I had a camera on the bottom of my bag, and things went a little sideways. And I thought about it at lunch, but then the lunch line was so long that I didn't pull the camera out during teams. Man, it was a rough day of competition. Ended up pulling Justice League. Pulled the Justice League team. I played Super Rare Green Lantern, which I told the guys if we pull it, I got it. I'm going to play that. I ended up also ended up playing Common Wonder Woman, Maxwell Lord, and Mary Marvel. And I battled through all day. If anybody's known me, I've been a big proponent of team play and team seal. And I battled through 7 rounds against some of the best players in the game. It was Lucas and PJ and myself. And 7 rounds to the finals. And I finally got a team championship with my boys. It means a lot. It means a whole lot, because it's something that, like, every time I've gone out, I've been about making sure that the group of players that I'm with, we have everything that we can, and that we can win, and that our teams are the best that they can be. And I've been at top tables so many times and lost. And it sort of hits you. It's like I've been there. I remember Kevin Afruz, with the comment sort of saying, like, he still has the potential to win a team championship. And I sort of was remembering that going into the last round, that he said that. And I said, like, now it's my time. We were having a team meeting, and I sort of had, like, I said, what I was going to play, and I said I was playing Justice League, which I was playing Justice League standard for 300 modern, and I said, in that moment, it hit me in my spirit. It was like, I'm going to get a championship with Justice League, and I sort of felt that go out, and I'm like, yeah, God, I'm gonna win a championship with Justice League. I thought it was 300 modern. But when PJ and Lucas handed me my team from Sealed and said, "Yo, man, you're playing Justice League," I was like, "It's on. This is the road. This is where we're gonna hit it." So I'm choking up a little bit, like eyes, like water and crying. I understand, but it's been a long road since the beginning with Mace, myself, and Dragon, and playing with them, and having a year off from teams, and coming back with PJ and Matty G, and getting second, and then it's PJ and me and Matty G again, and we lose in top 4. And then the next time it's me, it's PJ, myself, and KJ, and we lose the top 4. And I won. What was it? An insane amount of games. And last time I was out, it was Wes, myself, and Kevin, and we lost in top 8 to another Phoenix Nest team. And that was the year that George, Matt, and George and Matt won. I know. I sort of blank right now, just a little bit. And so, sort of having this year, and it's sort of saying, it's like, yo, this is your turn, Edward. It's your turn, PJ. It's your turn, Lucas. Like, come get this. The only game I lost all day was my first game. And that's because I played a map I wasn't familiar with. I didn't have strategy fully on, and I played wrong, and I lost. It was 20-40. And I sort of started to doubt myself. But then when I got some momentum going, I'm like, no, this is my game. This like, and even more so, I talk about playing your style. And I was like, Justice League with Green Lantern is my style. I am playing defensively. I'm playing cautiously. I am not there trying to make haymaker plays. You know, there's some crit misses and I theme prop, and I understand that. You know, with the shenanigans, with the mind control. Like, if things don't go off, you play this wrong, I'm going to be mind controlling a lot with Maxwell Lord. Just going with that core four and being like, it's time to go. It's time to go. So I know a lot of folks were like, it's frustrating, like I got to hit a 21 and multiple times. And I'm like, yep, you got to hit a 21 or a 19. And I'm going to keep this party going. I'm going to keep this party going and bring, you know, as much and, you know, close combat action as I can. I had the Empower with Mary Marvel, and I had Amazons, which were game changers that were able to come in and land hits, crit hits, sometimes just getting those tie-ups so I don't get shot, mastermind fodder for Maxwell Lord, like all sorts of things. And it's just at the end, I'm happy. And there was a song I was listening to this morning. It's a praise and worship song. And one of the lines says, like, take courage, my heart, stay steadfast, my soul. He's in the waiting. So, been waiting a long time for this. And glad to be here. Glad to win this. Don't care, it's not a WizKids event. This was definitely a tournament. It definitely was a tournament, a challenge. So my fiance said, hey, when you need to come home and bring home a trophy. So just glad to do that. So 3 of my boys are playing for Master Mold right now against one Uncanny Clixman in the Battle Royale. I'm going to go enjoy that. But yeah, Phoenix Nest, we're on fire. We're on fire. All right, it is Sunday. It's a good day. We are filling stuff out. I'm early, so that's why there's not that many people. So a lot of cool stuff going on, and I'm playing robots. Shh, I'm playing robots. Don't tell anybody. All right. I'm gonna go over some things a little bit later and see how this day goes. ID cards are back, and so is the pin pocket tank. So it's going to be a different day, Tater. It's going to be a different day. So old school players are probably going to enjoy this a little bit more. So, all right then. I will see y'all in a little bit. Yo, day 4. Silver. I got Ryan Morgan here. Here's my opponent. Idols are playing each other. I got Brandon, my boy. He's over here. This is going to be a good day. Good day. That's Wes. So let's go. First round, we're going to have 4 rounds. Yeah. Out of focus, really bad now. All right, yep. So it's going to be a good day. Let's go. All right, let's go. I got Ricky. What is it? What'd you go by for a while? They called you the King of New York.
King of New York, that's what I've been called.
He beat me in 400 silver. So go ahead and explain to people about your team today.
It's a double Witch Queen with Spider Pharaoh to make it a ruler, Spider-Man theme with a ruler. And I also have Mary Jane out there to generate the paparazzi bystanders for Mastermind fodder. Basically, the Witch Queens double up their defense on each other. Hypersonic take out the little guys one by one, and just start hanging it out and running away.
And he's got this WWE arena.
Yep, so I get all those WWE speed powers as well. So the sidestep, nimble, I can move out almost half to the map for free.
Yes,
so it's fun.
It is very powerful. I have double Witch Queen at home. I have not been motivated to play double Witch Queen until now with this shenanigans right here. So how did you come up with that? Well, I sleight of hand move things away.
I've just been trying to get as many speed powers as possible and as much movement. Movement is key in this. If you can get away as soon as you can get in. Plus, with all the new power changes, plasticity don't automatically break away and stuff like that. So with the WWE powers, there are some automatic breakaway powers in there built in. So definitely, the WWE powers are crucial with Witch Queen, I think.
All right. So again, I think that's some next level creativity there. Just thinking about like, if I'm trying to get away, WWE powers are useful. Do I have pick a power? And I'm going to ask you one last question. Why do you think pick a power sort of fell off? Like, we don't really see it that much. I don't even see exospecs hardly.
I'm not sure exactly why it fell off, because I love it. I'm one of those, I love, like, Catchem, I still use him. He's fun. Pick power, in my opinion, still is very nasty. I think that's one reason why Goblin King was not allowed in this tournament.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pick power is really, really strong still.
Yeah.
Just not a lot of people use it because there's enough other stuff out there right now.
There you go.
Modern is so wide open.
Yeah. All right, then. That's it for right now. I'm going to come back later. All right. Good luck, Ricky. We're going to keep on going. Yo, guys. This is 5:45 in the morning. TSA lines leaving Orlando. Yeah. That's not fun. That is really not fun. So, I got some updates. Check y'all later. All right, let's sort of get into a couple of core things. For the 400 event, Wes Summers pulled that win off in the championship, and so shout outs to Wes. We also won the Master Mold in Drunken heroclix. Tommy Lytle won the Master Mold, and he and Lucas won Drunken heroclix. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I forgot it was like Lucas, Tommy, and I forgot. Wasn't PJ, was it? No. I think PJ was it P? I forgot who the third Phoenix Nest member was for the Master Mold. The brothers has been busy. Okay, so forgive me. So we won every event except for 300 Modern, which was Tyler Spees, but we were in the finals. So we were in the finals of every event. Now, I mean, you can make the joke when you're half the field, the odds are with you. Like, that's the joke. But I could say, like, legitimately, like, we put in work. We definitely put in work, definitely considering a couple of key things that we all sort of hot switched our 300 Modern teams. From looking at Rise and Fall and countering Rise and Fall stuff to looking at the current landscape. So that was something that was important. Another thing I'll go into real quick because I said I was going to talk about my 300-point Modern team, and my 300-point Modern team, it did okay. And for anybody that wants to sort of deconstruct it, you could definitely see the hyper defensive play that was in my 300-point Modern team. But hopefully, if you do look at some of the options, feel free to like deconstruct it and make some changes. I started off with Prime Batman and then Alchemical Fire, and so you would equip Alchemical Fire onto Batman, and there are all his options pretty much work out. But two key distinct options that are really good is, of course, the fire token the damage to the penetrating damage to the adjacent character, to an adjacent character, that can change games when you're trying to get rid of a colossal retail, or if you just miss that character, or that character just needs one more damage, or that character that you're trying to get, you can mind control and get the character that you're definitely trying to get off that first click, like those Sky Tyrants. You just need to make sure that you have a mind control character adjacent to them to deal them that penetrating damage. The -2 is a good crowd control, but that is better in 300 than 400. Definitely at 500, -2 is not worth anything because there is too many stat modifications. So the next part was that I had 2 of the starter Green Lanterns. The starter Green Lanterns are 40 points in barrier, and they have +2 to their movement, and they give you +1 action total if there are 6 or more Justice League. And the idea is that you're able to generate those 8 squares of barrier and just tell your opponent you got to deal with it. And in particular, like why you have to just deal with it is on certain maps, there is no way for Molecule Man to get rid of all the barrier. Now you could just say like, well, he's going to just turn this one to water and this one to water, and boom, here's a clear line of fire. That is good and dandy, but if you're trying to hit 3 people, 4 people, that's a lot of terrain that you have to take care of, and if your roll is low, you're definitely not doing that. Then comes in Billy Batson, Martian Manhunter, and 2 Flashes, and one of the key things is that I have the WWE ring, and I also have the Zero ring, and I put the Zero ring onto Billy, and I use the catcher's mitt construct to pick up the Zero ring to give it to Billy, and TK Alchemical Fire to Batman. So if some of you are like, yo, how are you getting all this stuff distributed? Now, why the WWE ring? Well, considering that I have a chance of losing map of still being +8, and reasonably getting my +3 to map roll is, it's still iffy. If I get put on a bad map, I'm able to just be like, boop, this section here is cleared out. Does it give me infinite range Batman? No. But what it does do is give me situations where if I want to huddle or make my sort of retreat there, I can. Also, it gives me a situation where I can put down barrier in that area and have a forward position if I think that's necessary. But more importantly, it clears out space so that I have lines of fire with Batman Prime. That's primarily it. Now, I know some of you are going to say it's like, hey, but also I forgot. I had a super rare Green Lantern at 50, not 90, as people were looking at like, man, you want teams with 75, not 90. 75 point Green Lantern, why don't you play him at 75 points? Well, I needed some extra points to get that extra barrier. It was necessary to get that extra barrier. Now, I know some people might say, it's like, dude, you had 3 barriers. That's a lot of barrier. And it's like, yeah, but you have to also come back from, my perspective, which is, if I am not facing a Molecule Man and I am on an indoor map, my opponent is at a severe disadvantage. They're at a severe disadvantage for one core reason. Improved movement destroys blocking is not a common tactic. It's just not. It's not popular. And WizKids, with the removal of Tri-Sentinel, hasn't really made a lot of figures that are worth it in the current format that are low cost. So let's just call that out. That's not necessarily a bad thing. All right, so when you notice that there aren't really a bunch of options that have improved movement destroys blocking, then you sort of have to say, it's like, okay, so where's the disadvantage for running a bunch of barrier? And then you can say, well, it's Molecule Man, but okay, I sacrifice my flash, I TK up my flash, I use Martian to move him up some more, double charge to go exchange my 30-point flash for your 30-point Molecule Man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now you have to deal with my wall. And we fight. Now if I fail to hit, that's on me. Okay? That's game. I wouldn't say it's game. That now the game is a lot tighter. Okay? But that is a serious thing to consider, is just go out there, exchange, and do a fair trade of Flash for Molecule Man, and now the barrier's like fully in play. Okay? So, couple of like some other like side notes of like things that I noticed from the event coming back later. And again, I know some of you are like, man, this voice quality is crap. Like, I'm using onboard mic because with moving, I still don't have everything set up, quote unquote, and also I'm using my laptop just because I don't have space right now to set up my desktop. So all the cool production stuff that I've been used to and space, I don't have. So that puts me at a bit of a disadvantage. So just bear with me. It's like 100 or something out here in Kansas City land. And I'm not going without Senior Fan. Senior Fan has been with me for years. But anyway, look, going back into it. So there's a couple of things that I would tell you that are great. Some things I'll tell you that are neutral, and some things I could tell you about that are bad about the event. Now, I know some of you are going to say, like, come on, man. I know some of my listeners is like, but Dark Logos. You had glowing reviews. How could there be anything neutral or bad? Like, let's talk about some things. All right, so first and foremost, let's talk about the good, because I don't want us to spend all our attention talking about the bad things, because they're really not, or even the neutral. Let's talk about the good. You have that old school Rocktober feel, which, buddy, a lot of us been jonesing for. Not only do you have the old school Rocktober feel, you also have good judging. I will put it as nicely as I could possibly can do it. These judges should be leading a reform initiative on how events should be ran. Okay? They just should be. Because everything was very prompt. Everything was on time. They were just like, well, too bad you weren't here. Let's go. The rulings were direct and respectful. There was some joking, but there's nothing where I'm like, you're a butthole, oly. Like, there was nothing like that. Okay, so I can say, like, from an interaction standpoint, like, they're good. You know, it is. Are you getting Barstable Flash level questions where they're running at you? No. I mean, that's Barstable's, stick. But it's still good quality. All right, so there's that. The next thing I'll say is good is the banquet, because the food was good. They had good cookies. They had good meatballs. They had good pasta. They had good food. I'm still thinking about it. It's like, yeah, that's good food. I like the banquet. I mainly showed you the banquet stuff so that you can sort of see what was going on with the feel of it. And I know some people that can't go to these events. I like to give, everybody a little taste of everything. Okay. So the banquet was well run. I will say this, as an entertainer, having Scott and PJ as entertainers for your your banquet, you can't do any better. You really can't. That's like the gold standard of heroclix entertainment. The only way that it would be better is if he was doing a murder mystery. And truth be told, I would love to see another murder mystery, but brother needs to put his people to work. Like, so I could understand why you wouldn't do a murder mystery. At least not for free. At least not for free. Maybe discounted or something, and do a tax write-off and make sure they get some food or whatever. But that's what I would think. Anyway, so the rooms are great. The access is great. Everything about the mechanics of what they did was great. Okay, so let's go on to the neutral. Neutral number 1. Oh, buddy, Casual Night needs like a slight reform. Maybe single elimination tournament. Maybe 2 strikes you're out, something like that. I don't know. Just a little bit of reform, because people thought that Casual Night was part of your Clix Cup points. Okay, so that is something. Okay, that is something. Next, when it comes to like overall winner or whatever, I think there maybe needs to be a little bit more like consideration to be like, all right, we broke the top 16, so if you made top 16, you get a point. So top 16, you all get a point. Top 8, you get 2 points. Top 4, you get 3 points. Second gets 4 and winner gets 6 or something like that. So that there's a little bit more incentive to win. But if you do well, like my boy Joe, he did well multiple days. He should have been maybe a little bit higher in the Clix Cup points. Again, this is not a bad thing. This is a neutral thing. Like, this is something like, yeah, we can figure this out. Because this is their first time doing it. And having done speech and debate and having a lot of team points and individual points in the tournament scene, I'm really familiar with how that goes down for determining winners. Okay, the next thing that I would say is neutral is your access to food. Your access to food. You have enough stuff to eat in walking distance. Either way you go. If you go one direction, you're going to hit McDonald's, IHOP, Red Lobster, what was it? IHOP, McDonald's, Red Lobster, Denny's, and there's one other thing. I forgot what it was. I didn't really care too. I didn't care too much. On the opposite end, you have the shopping plaza, which has a bunch of other restaurants. Okay, so in your little strip, you don't really have to. You're not walking 2 miles to get food. You may walk a half a mile and get some food. If you want some Red Lobster, you walk in about three-quarters of a mile. I'm out front. It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile to get some Red Lobster. I mean, them cheddar biscuits, baby, like, they good. But, I mean, I can understand if you're ready for bedtime, then cheddar biscuits are not going to be your friend. Getting the itis and then having to walk back, that's not fun. So, I would say your food options are neutral. Now, I'm not going to go into prices and this, that, and the other, because once you start getting into prices, that's relative to your pockets. Like, I'm just going to be honest. It's relative to your pockets. I know. So moving on to, I know a couple of us went to do Disney and Universal and all the other stuff. I know Scott and the 4 Points guys went to Universal on Sunday. They were just like, screw playing, we're just going to go out and have fun in life. Which, I mean, that's important. Your friendships are important. So Isaac became theme park man. He got to go to Universal. I don't know. I didn't have a good segue. Anyway, so there is family stuff that you can do. If you want to make this like a whole week thing, you can do that. Okay, you can bring your family there, and you can do this, that, and the other. I saw a lot of spouses and girlfriends and whatnot, so that's fine. I think that's a good thing that there's people feel like they can bring their families, but also understand you bring your families. You gotta have you gotta have the dinero to pay for that. Because that's not going to be cheap. So there's stuff for your family to do. Like if you just want to be like, yo, just do me, like y'all want to go here, I want to play heroclix here, I'll make a deal with y'all. These 2 days I'm playing, this other day we're going to Magic Mountain or whatever. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to go into the negatives. I'm going to go into the negatives. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, yo, what could be bad? So these are some lessons. All right. First and foremost, if you are not used to humid weather, or you have problems with humid weather, you are not going to Orlando. You're not. I can make a joke that my ancestors' great robust spirit kicked in, and I was able to survive it. But buddy, there was a moment when I thought I could walk 1.5 miles to get to this Indian restaurant that I wanted to go to, that I decided, nah, man, it's 2:00 and the sun's out, and this humidity's been getting me. And I walked towards the IHOP, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get some cheddar biscuits, baby. Like I'm heading back to I'm heading back to Red Lobster. So like if you can't take the heat, literally do not go. If I saw tons of people outside that forgot that they are melanin deficient turn beet red. Like you could transform into another race out there if you're not careful. So like, yeah, it's not worth for you to get skin damage, like really bad skin damage, if you're just not willing to take care of yourself. So yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is, in a COVID environment, the Newmark did his job. I'm not going to comment about him. For the time of year, there are a ton of kids, there are a ton of adults, there are tons of events, and I know there was karate, judo, basketball, and one other kids thing that was all in this hotel, and they did not care about anything. Now the kids, again, we start looking at like the statistics and the mortality rate of children, and pretty much anyone under 22, it's like next to nil. I can understand that. For me, I'm like, I gotta go back home, and my mom's undergoing cancer treatment. That I'm if you notice, I'm masked up in pretty much the majority of the videos. The only time I'm not is I'm talking to Mike Eskew, and we are way away. And I know somebody's going to say, like, particulates in the air, it's floating in, and what if Mike had something? I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I got my COVID test. I was negative. Okay, I was negative going in, I was negative coming out. Okay, but sort of going back is, if you are in a situation where you are concerned that you can get infected by other people being carriers, you don't go. Don't go. Like it's not worth it. Like your life's not worth it. If you're immunocompromised and your procedures are questionable, if you can't get those legit N95 masks, if you can't get, the other things that you need to bump up your immune system, don't go. We would rather you be alive than you show up to an event and find out you died afterward. That's just the thing. Now, if this was in another part of the year, then you have different situations, which is like, can families go, or people have times off, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. We're not at that point of that type of argument. What I'm willing to say is, if nothing changes, this is a con. All right. So let's go into something else. The hotel and the market. The market's food, and the market is their branded in-house food crap or whatever company they subcontracted out. They suck. They are evil, and the truth is not in them. Yeah, I just called them the devil. Yes, I did. So, two hard-boiled eggs, $3.50. I know you could say, well, Florida has higher sale tax. Hell, higher sale tax in my butt. Okay, $3.50 for 2 eggs. $11 for a Mediterranean salad. What else did I get? I got a little piece of chicken, $5. All right. When you were on break to go eat, and again, this is not against the tournament. But you have an hour break. There is no place that you can run to, get food, and get back real easily. Unless you have a spouse or a loved one or a kid that you trust, or just one of your teammates that decided to drop and was going to take one for the team and has gotten everybody's order, going to get food and then come back. That's it. That is the only way that you are going to get food. Now note, like, Newmark magically got food for his guys, and truthfully, I should have slid Newmark a 20 and said, "Hey, I'll collect the money. Can you get Phoenix Nest in on this?" Like for real, because you're on time. You're ready to go with the judge's lunch. Can we subsidize you? Because, bruh, for teams, I picked up my food. And I was next to Lucas. I ate my eggs, my chicken, and my salad, and my chips before we were even able to go and pay. It was insane. Now, they had a line out the door for freaking Starbucks. They had a line that I was in for the pizza, and they had 2 people back there making pizzas and 3 people making drinks, and then there's one lady at the counters doing receipts and stuff. I wanted to be like, lady, stop doing your receipt audit. You clearly are in your lunch rush. Do what you need to do. I've worked retail. This was bad form. This was just bad form. So that the market and then the in-hotel eating options are trash. They're trash. Okay, that's not against Newmark. That's not against him picking a place for space and the deal that he could get and all this other stuff. I'm talking about the business practices of the hotel. Okay? So if anybody gonna be like, shots fired, I'm like, Yosemite Sam, put the guns down. It's not that type of party. Okay? Coming into Orlando, perfect. Leaving Orlando, oh my gosh. So I had that last clip in there for a point when you see the TSA. Now I know some of you are like, Dark Logos, I live in Chicago. Dark Logos, I live in LA. Dark Logos, I live in New York. That's nothing. I'm like, yo, this was, and I'm not joking when I say this. This was 5 in the morning. TSA looks like that at 5 in the morning. That's not a good look. That is not a good look. Like, everybody funnels through this hellmouth so that they can get to their flights. That's not good. Now, is there anything that Newmark can control? No. Is there any reason, is this just something that you have to deal with? Like, I had to go check a bag. It took me 35 minutes to go and check the bag because of how long the line was at 5 in the morning. Okay? And you might say, well, of course, Dark Logo, she flew Southwest, like, no, homie. Yeah, it took me 35 minutes to go through Southwest. And it took me 35 minutes to go through TSA just to get to the point where they could scan me. Okay? All right. But all of the different airlines, it doesn't matter if you were flying Delta or Spirit or Grand, the Lord is coming helicopter service. You were stuck in that trash line. Okay? That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. You like cue the music like dun 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 dun. Again, my mic quality is lower. It probably doesn't sound as awesome as I feel it does right now. Okay. So, like complaining about prices in the airport is like complaining that, when you're in Denver, it's a little bit harder to breathe. Like, that's just the factor of that reality. So, like, overall, is this a good event? Yes. Is this worth going back to? Yes. Was this fun? Heck yeah. Would it still have been fun if Phoenix Nest, didn't win, every event but one? Yeah. It still would have been fun. I think it was the nostalgia berries hit you if you went to Old Rock in Atlanta. Like, it just did. Oh, one other side note on the bad. Okay, Saturday night, and you're in the spot at the one place that is down by the pub and the CVS, that little area right there. That's where all the locals go to eat or whatever on Saturday night. Getting in line there to get a table is horrible. It's horrible. You're better off getting an Uber and going anywhere else to get food. It will just save you time. It would just save you time. So, So anyway, if I go again, and I don't mean that like if I go again because it was bad. It's like just things going on in life. If I go again soon or next year, I would be like hyping everybody to go. I think there's some other things that they have to consider, and I'll put this out there as well. The only thing Newmark has to fear is WizKids. And WizKids does not care about your business plan. And in particular, they will do things to screw over your business plan. I'm just going to be honest. And I know somebody's like, gosh, dog, Edward, I thought you were trying to go be peaceful with WizKids, and now you said this. I'm like, and I'm being honest about it. Going into next year, WizKids can put an announcement out, and it can be like, next February, we're at this con, and this is going to be our worlds. And if Newmark is like, yeah, oh, crap. Now I have to re-talk with the hotel, renegotiate everything. Guess what? At Gen Con 2022, Origins 2022, WizKids is back in the building, bringing you hardcore heroclix actions. Yeah! And they're doing, the Jericho maneuver. Or Y, this is Jericho or Y2J, whatever. Guess what? Newmark has screwed again. If they say, hey, 2022, we are at PAX Unplugged. Here we go. Let's go, everybody. 3 days in Philly. Screw you, because Philly sucks. And anyway, Philly sucks for going to PAX. And anybody somebody's like, I live in Philly, bro. That's not necessary. I'm like, yo, flying to Philly any other time of year outside of Christmas is reasonable. You fly in there during the time of PAX after Thanksgiving, all the prices double or triple for all your airfare. Screw flying into Philly. It is a horrible idea. But again, WizKids can be like, 2022, fly to Philly to go deal with crappy Philly and PAX Unplugged. And if Newmark does it, Orlando Christmas or Orlando in the early part of the year, guess what? He is sort of screwed because the community won't have money. So yeah, like the only thing to ruin this event in the future is WizKids. Because, and I'll say it like this, WizKids did it to The Rock. WizKids did it to The Rock multiple times, to the point that freaking Rocktober wasn't even in October. Just let that sink in. So, I know folks will be like, man, you had this wonderful video and you ended it on this. But yeah, like, I am hopeful for things going well in the future. I am hopeful that WizKids will not treat David like crap. I'm hopeful that when it comes to doing things and activities, WizKids is a little bit more out there talking. You have a whole website, but you don't talk to nobody because you're making that D&D money, so you don't need us right now. Yeah, shots fired. Shots fired. I know it is. I have some other choice words too, but I'm not going to say them. And then again, they'd be like, Kenny Pena sitting back there with us, because it's like, dude, it was so close to getting you to host the live stream during Worlds. We were going to pay you, homie, with product. Anyway, but yeah, so again, on this grand journey of doing high-level competitive play, I like to thank y'all for being with me. I can say I'm a champion. And a champion in something that I desire and something I've been pursuing, which was teams. I told my fiance, it's like, when it comes to team play, I'm one of the top 4 players in the world. And she was like, oh really? And I'm like, my record speaks for itself. Like I have played the best in the game. And folks would be like, but you had PJ and you had Lucas. I'm like, yep, this time. But in the past, I've had KJ, I've had Wes, I've had Kevin, I've had other people, and I still broke, and I still made top 4s and top 8s, and you could say like, but around you is blah blah blah. I'm like, look, dude. You can hate the game, but yo, as a player, I'm confident in my team sealed abilities, and I'm confident in who I roll with. If someone says like, but it's like you made top 16, I'm like, yeah, I did it with Wes and Kevin. Are you going to cast shade on them? I'm like, I also made top 8 and top 4s. Like I've had multiple people I've rolled with, so I also could come back and say, it's like, now that I have a title, all those people that are like, does he belong in the heroclix Hall of Fame? I guess they have no more excuses now. And if they're going to be like, he needs to have a WizKids title, then I'd be like, wow, I didn't know you looked so poorly upon rock. All right, with that, you can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com if you wish to opine. Keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. Shout out to the man from Japan. Gave me some stuff about Tokyo Olympics. I really wasn't watching. I won't front, homie. I don't really like the Olympic sports like that. Also, I am still working on other content of what's coming. I will be doing a Rise and Fall review when Rise and Fall comes out. And we potentially have the erratas and all the other silliness from the prints and misprints and everything else that's supposed to be coming. And then we'll talk about Rise and Fall. So, yeah. All right, that's it. I'd like to thank you all for listening. And remember, we all got to start over sometime.